So we're here in Argyll and Bute for a couple of days doing a number of things. We're meeting lots of stakeholders and partners with whom we work here in Argyll and Bute, and we'll be visiting a number of sites in the region, meeting our staff and seeing what's happening. This is one of a number of visits to different parts of Scotland we have both undertaken and are planning over the next few years. And it seems to me there's a number of important things that come with doing these visits. Firstly, we can meet local people, local communities and engage with them. But it's also important to actually go and see projects. Being on the ground, visiting, talking to people adds huge value and intelligence which you wouldn't get if we just sat in an office in Edinburgh.
It's always nice for us, for our funders to come and see what we're doing, and very often we're quite distant from our funders, so to have the board coming is absolutely fantastic for us and we're delighted.
Well, Scotland's historic environment is a fantastic national asset. We as an organisation have 336 properties across the length and breadth of Scotland, and here in Argyll and Bute we've got just under 40 sites. And they are really important in their own right, but they're also important for what they do for the area. So for example, almost 100,000 visitors visited our staffed paid sites last year, and the same number again almost visited our unstaffed sites. So in terms of the economic contribution, visitors, tourists to the area are really important. And it's also what they then spend and the contribution they then make to the economy. We reckon that about £9 million of value from the historic environment goes into the Argyll and Bute economy most years.
First of all, tourism is absolutely critical to this region. The heritage side of it is absolutely central to that, whether it's the castles, whether it's the archaeology, the traditions. There's just so much in this region that's to do with the heritage. I think it's really, really important that Historic Environment Scotland are up here in Argyll meeting the local groups. It's them reaching out to the local people, lets them know that they matter.
So an important part of what we do and what we're asked to do by government is not just to invest in our own sites, but to invest in others. And so our grant programme, £14.5 million per annum, is an important component of that. Here in Argyll and Bute, we've invested £5.6 million over the last 10 years or so in projects, and even just in the last few months we've announced 2 new CARS schemes in Argyll and Bute, one in Rossi and one in Dunollie. So grants are hugely important to enable others, communities and so on, to take forward projects that are important to their locality.
Councils like Argyll and Bute Council, like all councils, have got limited funds. So the only way that we can advance is working in partnership with the likes of Historic Environment Scotland, HLF and others, because they have invested significantly in our area. We've had a number of really successful car schemes in places like Campbelltown, Rothesay, Inverary, and we're going to soon start in Dunollie. Without that investment, these areas would have been in decline. There's no doubt about it.
The skills agenda is hugely important, and through our learning and education activities we seek to engage youngsters right early on at school with what we do. So over 300,000 youngsters from the Argyll and Bute area engaged in our learning programmes last year, and we hope by them catching the bug of history early, then it stays with them throughout their life.